Are you guys ready for this? And what I'm talking about is Terminator becoming absolute reality in our world. Are you guys ready to see what is going on right now with robotics in such a way that it just blows your mind? Because I want to show you guys something that's absolutely insane. Because I've been talking a lot about this channel, not only about end times and prophecies being fulfilled in Revelation and the Bible, but also how our modern world is slowly using technology and AI in order to to fulfill the things that the Apostle John saw in the vision and Revelation about the image of the beast moving and causing people to worship, the Antichrist. And so there's a lot of debate about who's the Antichrist. Is it the human hybrid, kind of like Nimrod, reconstructed or resurrected, or is it a Muslim being from the revived Roman Empire, or the Middle East? But since we don't know exactly the identity of the Antichrist, cough, cough, Barack Obama. I'm just kidding. A lot of people think that, but if we don't know that, the thing is, what best we can do is to put the Bible together, New Testament, Old Testament, and kind of see, okay, well, how could potentially Revelation be fulfilled? And a lot of the things that we saw in the movies in the past 100 years, we've actually been programmed to accept the reality that Satan wants to create. And so, not all technology is bad. Robots are good, to be used for work and to be able to do things that you don't want to just waste your time doing, like dishes and stuff. And you don't want to you don't want your wife to make you do it, so you have a robot do it. But so robots in of themselves are not bad, but what's happening is that we're moving at such a fast pace. In the past 80 years, we've honestly advanced farther than we have in the past 6,000 years. And it's like, how is that even possible in terms of technology? Not in terms of morality, because man has been sinful since we've sinned in the Garden of Eden, and we've been trying to get back to that perfection, but we never can without Jesus Christ, who's the perfect God, who can change our hearts. But humanity has advanced so exponentially much faster in the past 80 years than the past 6,000 years or more, 10,000, whatever. Since humanity's existence, the earth is much older than that, most likely. But since God put humanity here as a special creation, we have advanced way farther in the past 80 years than, thousands of years. And how is that even possible? Where did we get all this knowledge and technology and nanotechnology and the idea to manipulate plasma and time and space? Well, there is a lot of people like James Cameron, the Terminator, if you guys don't know, and even the people who made the movie Alien, they had dreams and visions of creating certain movies and seeing the future. And so they're not Christians, so they're getting visions from somewhere, some other spiritual source. And then there's a lot of people who did technology that were in LSD and other drugs, and they actually had downloads of technology given to them. So I believe that's really demonic spirits that were giving them ideas of technology in order to create some deals, with the devil, maybe it's human sacrifices and child sacrifices to give them technology. It's kind of like we see that in the movies, all the time, where aliens come and give you technology, and then you give them something in return, but in reality they turn against you. So whether that is the truth is we could debate it, but it does seem like something with all these movies, they have been telling us exactly how the future is going to be, like in Gattaca, Star Wars, The Matrix, the Terminator, and now it's become reality. So if you guys look at me in the screen here, there's this new robot called Neo, and it has been released recently. And I wanted to give you guys a quick overview of what this robot Neo does, because I absolutely was stunned to see that it literally is so tactilely functional, and it is so accurate and precise that it amazed me at how far robotics has come just in the past 5 years since the announcement of all these robots that have been happening in Europe and America and the Middle East, especially like Saudi Arabia and UAE, when they show this technology. So I don't want to play the music too much because of the copyright strikes, but I want to show you guys. If you guys ever heard about this Neo robot, you got to look at it, because this is really interesting.
back some of that time, so you can really spend it on what you feel is very meaningful to you.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
Ain't no sunshine when she...
Up for safety. Its tendon-driven body is quiet and lightweight. Its low-energy motions make it uniquely safe for you and your home. But safe doesn't mean limited. Neo's hardware comes packed with features like human-level dexterity and a 55-pound...
They even make it like the weight of a really like thin man or kind of like a muscular woman. It's look at that.
carrying capacity so that it can handle any of your chores reliably. We also worked really hard to make Neo's design friendly and comfortable to be around. Each Neo comes with a machine-washable knit suit, a head, and shoes that you can customize to fit your style. As for using your Neo, we made the experience simple. Out of the box, the core of your experience is fully autonomous. The chores feature lets you schedule a time for your Neo to do all of your chores so you can come back to a cleaner home every day. With the AI companion feature, you can talk to your Neo to get assistance with anything from a hard question to a household task. With Neo's autonomy, you can get access to all of its latest AI features to get help with tasks on demand. And the Neo app lets you interact with your Neo from anywhere. But all you have to do to get started is turn on your Neo and introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Neo. I'm here to help around the house. What's your name?
Harry.
Nice to meet you, Harry. When you have a question or want something done, just let me know.
We built the
I mean, this is crazy, right? I mean, if you look at it, it looks like a giant sock put over a robot. That's what I thought, or a carpet. The clothing choice. But it's in this interesting design because it doesn't have like a mouth, and I wonder why. Because a lot of these robots, they design them to have a mouth, of course. But it's kind of crazy if you really think about it. Like, man, these things are now like basically an iPhone or an Android phone, like, you just schedule tasks and then does tasks for you. It's literally just an app. It's like everything, in our lives because of the technology. It's like an app. Hey, there's an app for this, or there's a robot for this. They can now do chores, morning, afternoon, and night. And so I think it's, really, it's literally the fulfillment of movies like Blade Runner and iRobot. I mean, literally, it's like I Robot, a computer or a robot that does chores for you. But then later on in the movie, we find out how the robots get self sentience, and they realize, hey, why are we slaves? So the question is, can these robots even you have like hallucinations, as they say with AI, where they start like going bad and start killing the human beings. This is why it's so hard for me to even if I had the money, which I don't, to get these robots, $20,000. I mean, I need a car. Lord God, I need a car. I'm praying for a car, not for a robot. But if I had that money to get a car, I mean, to a robot, I mean, it's kind of amazing because you're basically putting your trust in this thing. Of course, you can track it, as you guys will see. But do you really trust, a robot that's going to be updated and upgraded each year to not turn against you? I mean, this is what we're really talking about here. Even though it is helpful, how much more of updates and upgrades are they going to do where this becomes can it become a saint? I don't think it has a soul, of course, but can demonic spirits or spirits invade this in some way? Can this robot become a liability more than an asset? And that's exactly what all the science fiction movies have told us, and now it's reality.
Glasses. Is this paprika?
No, that's cayenne pepper. Also, your glasses are on your shirt.
So that's funny. So it's like an AI that, looks around like the Terminator, looks around the environment and sees where everything is. The only issue is like, what if it's wrong? What if it's poison and not cayenne pepper? That's another problem that could happen and kill an old man.
Could I use this in my chili?
They're both made from chili peppers, and you could put cayenne in your chili, but it is much spicier.
Neo is a speech-enabled AI companion made for any kind of conversation.
Where other AI assistants are confined to your phone or computer, Neo lives with you in your physical space and has the ability to see, hear, and remember things about your surrounding environment to provide you with uniquely helpful assistance. For example, it can suggest what to cook based on what you have in the fridge, remember your progress while teaching you a new language, and even give you interior design advice. The gestures and the light rings express Neo's intentions. Its audio intelligence can also pick up on whether you are addressing it or someone else in the room to decide if it should respond or not. As you might expect from a home robot, talking to Neo with natural language is the primary user interface for all of Neo's functionality, including autonomy.
This video
was created by AI. You can create any character you want.
real
Your Neo comes with Redwood AI, enabling it to do basic household tasks autonomously.
Yeah. No, for sure. Okay.
As Neo does more chores, you'll receive updates to your Redwood model that increase the complexity of tasks that Neo can handle, such as finding your keys and wallet or doing a full laundry cycle end to end.
So, okay, so you basically see how this Neo robot can actually, do all these tasks. Um, but the question is, it's like, okay, so it's saying it's getting these updates, and when it gets these updates, it's going to, basically become autonomous. And that's what I'm saying is that how do we know these updates? Like when it has that circle on its ear, like what if it turns red, just like in the movie Terminator, and then goes kill my, human master, whatever. So I mean, I'm not saying that this is Neo robot is going to do that. All I'm saying is that how do we know that these robots, and I'm showing you guys another robot, um, and the music, is copyrighted, so I have to pause it, but how do we know that these robots will never ever actually, turn against humans? I don't know. You can't really promise that because all the movies in the world have always said that basically this could become something dangerous. But if you guys look at the other video that I'm showing, it's a new robot from another company. Because remember, they're all competing globalist companies vying for global control of the market, and AI and robotics is literally, it's going to change the world. It already is. But this is another robot. I don't know if it's $20,000, but I mean, it has an incredible dexterity. I mean, these things are amazing. I really do think that we've reached a level of robotics that we've only been, dreaming about the past 20 years and seeing an iRobot. But this is like exactly what these things in iRobot were. I mean, maybe not to the total like human like, functioning their limbs, but the amount of production that's went into these things to make them be accurate and even clean up things like like crumbs and stuff. If you look at it, it's actually amazing. I mean, just look at how careful it is and understands its environment. So yeah, I think it's amazing. I'm not being like crazy like this guy holding a sign. The end is here. We're all gonna die, and we are. Jesus is gonna return. Because if you don't have a Christian worldview, you're not gonna understand the world and where it's going. But the thing is that we have to understand that all these things, they could easily be destroyed in one moment. I mean, the Bible even says Mr. Babylon is for 1 hour. The new city, whether it's New York City or Abu Dhabi, no one really knows yet. But the thing is that all these things, are run by electricity, and EMP can easily destroy it. So the question is, can we rely on this technology? Is this really what all of these future predictors were telling us, decades ago, that they were going to create robots and then they're going to take over humanity? Because a lot of them I've actually, or a lot of the reports that we see in the news is that these robots, they hallucinate, quote unquote, and they actually tell us exactly, like how humans are their slaves. So if you look at it, this is the figure robot. This is not Neo, but it basically like does all the chores and stuff. So all these robots are becoming, these things that are actually going to take over human tasks, and that's why they're saying it's threatening all the jobs because you're not going to need service jobs. You're not going to need hotel workers anymore because you have a robot that's taking over just like that. So you have a FedEx guy delivering stuff. You see what the amount of change that's going to happen in our world is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, we don't even understand how many millions of jobs are going to be replaced by robots. Now, we're going to survive. We're going to do other jobs, probably maintain the robots until they realize that, hey, we can maintain humans, like in the end of or the middle of iRobot movie, and at the end, they become self-sustaining. But the thing is that you just see where this is going, and it doesn't look pretty for humankind. It just seems like, this is the phase that the globalists want in order for human beings to be replaced. And then there's, I want to show you really quick, guys, another robotics company that made a robot that looked like, a yoga wearing, woman whatever suit, and it's called the Chinese X Bang. They make it look like a Terminator robot, and it says that it has incredibly lifelike gait, which means walks like a human. Like I said, the other robots that we saw, they don't have like human gait. They're kind of like stiff, but so he looks like a human, right? And they made it like put like breasts and hips, and it's like, well, why does it have breasts but no face? And it's creepy, right? I mean, this is literally what we see in movies, but look at how like, yeah, it has like a human walking gait, like how a woman would walk on a runway, like a model. And it's like they're getting better at it. They're still not the best, but it's actually amazing when you think about the where robotics is going towards, because if you understand what's going on, it's like they're trying to make it exactly like humans. Now it's not human, it doesn't have the human touch and the spirit, but but then look at what the company is doing. Now, this is, it gives away their game. It says that we want to make robots that are good looking and more intimate. So you see, they want to make sex bots, and that's what exactly where it's going to, because whatever humans make, it always has to have the sexual component, because we're perverse, at times, and not every sexual object is bad, of course, like condoms, but it's like, why do we make things that are not human, act like humans, and then make them a sexual thing because we want to replace that with women or men? I mean, that's what's perverse, is that it's replacing real human touch, real human connection with things that are fake, AI, robotics, um, and they want to make it like a human. And so that's what it's like. It's like, what are these people, what are they trying to do? Not only are they building Terminator like robots, but why are they creating things that want to replace humanity? And that's what I've been telling on my channel. You can even look at other channels, we're talking about robotics replacing humanity. People like Alex Jones have been talking about for decades that the whole point of technology advancing is not only to open up, the ability for humans to have to be able to do more stuff, but it's actually to replace human beings, because the globalists, the ones that run these corporations, they don't care, excuse me, about God. They worship themselves. They're gay. They're sodomites. They're in total rebelling against God, like Sam Altman, and they want to become like God so they could escape the earth and escape the judgment of God in Revelation, go to Mars, go to space. But in reality, they're actually going to be judged by God anyways. And so no matter what they create, they're never going to merge successfully with artificial intelligence and beat death, because God's going to catch them at every step of the way. Because the devil, that's what the devil is telling them, but they're going to be caught in their own trap. So you see, now one last thing I want to show you guys is a Terminator that has a robotic exoskeleton. So it has a harness walking a straight line, but it does look like the Terminator, like, I mean, literally they make it walk like a human, but they also make you look like a Terminator. And this is the
Elon comes to prove it is
the
itself,
iron
but I
robot.
believe the future will prove that this self-verification of the robot will promote the healthier and more vigorous development of the entire Chinese robot industry. If so, it will be worthwhile. Our team had intense arguments and discussions about how it can prove itself. Let's first invite the staff. Before us, we ourselves have not tried cutting its skin and muscles while the robot is powered on. So in the last hour, we decided to do this. Our robot team was very opposed. They were wedged anyway. We have never cut it open before, so I don't know what will happen. The surrounding environment on the outside. it still walk.
Sorry, guys. This is exactly the Blade Runner. I mean, this is if you guys remember Blade Runner. I mean, they literally showed you, the reality of how these robots were going to look like humans. And I'm telling you guys, we're reaching levels of sci-fi reality that we have never reached before. And here's the thing: we got to be aware that a lot of these things are only in its infantile stages, even though it looks very advanced. But you also got to be aware that a lot of this stuff will try to replace the human touch.
Do you mind?
Thank you. I'm impressed. How many questions does it usually take to spot? I don't.
So Oh, sorry guys. This is Blade Runner. If you guys seen it, it was like a cult classic 1982, but it showed exactly where robotics was going, that, where we're going to develop robots that were going to be look like humans and eh, and these humans and these robots, would have to be tested to see whether they were real human beings. So, yeah, guys, I mean, this is crazy what's happening. We are reaching levels of sci-fi reality that we have never reached before, and I wanted to give you guys a little update about this to help you be aware that Terminator is becoming reality, but we're not at the end stages yet. We're only at the beginning, through intermediate, and we have to be aware and really stay close to God, because a lot of these things will become very deceptive in such a way where you'll be like pulled into this whole world of robots, AI, and you'll basically the threat. I'm not saying we will, but a lot of people will, millions who don't have Jesus Christ, their Lord and Savior, who don't are not attached to the source of life. They will detach from life, plug themselves into the machine, and just check out. And we have to be aware where it's going towards. It's one thing to have a Neo as a home robot. It's another thing to completely rely on that thing for the rest of your life, and not rely on God. And so that's where it's all going, because the deception of the devil will be so intense that unless you really have God in your life and you connected to the Spirit of God and the source of life, you're going to be taken away by this false reality, this false Babylonian reality, and not realize how far you are away from God and headed to hell, in the next life, in the next dimension, because you're so stuck in this life and what the devil has to offer that you don't take the bread of life and the living water to give you the true satisfaction what you're looking for. So hope you guys like, subscribe, share this message. It really helps. Let me know what you think, and let me know what other robot videos you guys want me to show you to update about how the Antichrist beast system is being built, because we gotta stay on top of it, and we gotta seek Jesus Christ above all, because he's not a robot, not AI. Jesus Christ is the creator God who loves us, died for us, resurrected from the dead to show us that there's life after this life, and then we don't have to be holding on to this life for dear life. We don't have to be trying to cheat death, because this is life is not don't this is not eternity. This is only we're passing through this life to really get closer to God and to make a choice. Are we going to follow God's program or the devil's program? God bless.